good? Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Back with another one for you guys. 2007 through 15 Chevy Tahoe 5.3 liter. We're getting ready to do a tune-up on this guy as far as changing the spark plugs and the wires. So please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if this helps you out. And definitely do it just because I'm one of the realest guys out here. I'm gonna show you as much as I can. All right, so you got 4 plugs on this side and you got 4 on this side over here. So let's start with the hard side. If you can't do the hard side first, then ain't no sense of doing the easy side. So let's get started. Let me get set up and tell you what you need. All right, so doing this job, you might want you a blanket or something for your ribs because you're gonna be way back up in here, okay? So I always work from the hardest side, so let's show you what's happening. Okay, these are your 4 coils down here, your 4 plugs. You got 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one's way back there. That's gonna be the one that's the hardest, so that's the one I'm doing first. You can't do that one, then don't even try to attempt to do them all. So that's gonna be the hardest. So we're gonna loosen up our dipstick here from there, and that way we got some wiggle room. You wanna do this on a semi-warm engine, that way everything is kind of heated up and hopefully it breaks away freely. If not, you're gonna have some problems, and the worst case scenario, you're gonna have to go and take off your wheel and go through the wheel well shield to get to that far plug way in the back. All right, so let me get set up. Just wanted to explain that. The passenger side is not as hard, it's more accessible. So, yep, let's get to it and start disassembling everything. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pop our cover off over here. Let's go ahead and pop this up and off. Give some wiggles, pull it on out. You don't have to, but it gives you a little bit more room. So let's set that on the ground down there. Okay, so let's start getting us some wiggle room, pulling the hoses and stuff out the way. We got this to release. Boom, from there. This is got some freedom. We're gonna release this right here, and anything that's can move around that we can get some extra room. So we should be safe and be able to get all the way back up in there. But yeah. So let's get back in there, and we're gonna start at the bottom first, and I'm gonna try to use my pliers down in here, way in the back, to pull these free. We did, like I said, leave the engine a little warm, and the worst one is in the back, so hopefully it breaks free for us as far as getting this boot off, because sometimes they stick and they break and you gotta dig them out. All right, so let me get my pliers, be right back. So back way up in here. Okay, you got your 1, 2, 3, look at the reds, all the way back in here. That dude right there, it's gonna be the pain in the butt one, okay, down in there. Okay, so that one, we're not gonna disconnect it first. I'm gonna try to pull it from the bottom, and you're gonna need some long extension pliers, some needle noses, preferably. If not, you're gonna have to take the wheel off possibly to get to that one. But I got some of these dudes right here with the angle on them, and I got some straight ones as well. So let me get back in there and start the digging. All right, so let's get back in here. Down in there to the far one in the back. You're probably not gonna be able to see me, but you got to get yourself in position. And I'm gonna try to grab it by the neck up here and wiggle it and pull it. I'm hoping it comes out great. If not, the wheel's gonna have to come off. All right, let's get our light. Let's get down in there real good. Just try to spin it a little bit and just try to pull him and wiggle him at the same time. I usually try to get around the metal if I can. All right, let's see if I can get him. Position this light a little better. Light is our friend. All right. It's been a while since I had to do a 5.3, but all good. There we go. Especially if they've been there forever. It's real hard to do. And sometimes you might have to unloosen the exhaust shield. Let's see if we can get him. Might have to go in with some straights. Might have to release something over here, hopefully not. If I can't get him, I'm gonna work him out, and I'll tell you about the frustrations and the pains of getting this out. Might have to use some WD-40. All right, so let me work him out. I'm gonna pause video, be right back. All right, so we up under here, up under the vehicle. I can't really see it, but I'll try to work it out. Hopefully it'll pop. Let me know if I get close to the metal so I can try to grip it by the base.
You got the metal right there.
Right here?
That's the metal.
Okay, I can see it under here as well. Whoa. All right, my hands is getting tired, but you see what I'm trying to do, and it's not breaking free for me yet. Hopefully it'll pop out. All right, so we about to loosen up this bracket for the oil dipstick, which is a 15 millimeter, and it is right up under here. Let's get to him. Probably ain't gonna be able to see me like you want. Move my real quick. Just turn it back on. So that 15 is right here. Might need to shrink. Let's do so. Let's do it right here. Let's get on it. Close. There we go. Alright, so we got him loose. Let's go ahead and back him out. Whichever way is the easiest. And we're going to give us some wiggle room. Now we got more room. Got him out the way. You can put it back in his spot or just put it somewhere safe. In our case, we're gonna put it somewhere safe. And we're still trying to dig that dude out in the back. He's real tough and he does not want to pop. We're trying to not have to remove the wheel to get to it, but either way, it's coming out. So we're gonna continue and I shall return. Just wanted to show you that as far as the oil dipstick. All right, so after digging and digging, I finally got him. Hopefully he disconnected all the way. Let's find out. Yes, he did. Oh, we got some wire broken. Let's see. Let me grab hold to it. But as long as we can get to the plug, that's great. I don't think any of the rubber broke off in there, but I do see the wire on the tip of the spark plug. Trying to grab it. In a position. The way it is. Let's see if I get it now. Almost. But these angle pliers really came in handy. Might be going in with a different plier to dig this out. See if I can grip it. Keep slipping off on me. Tilt it this way a little bit. Sucks because of these hoses in the way. And I might have to go underneath, but I won't be able to see it because of the angle underneath. We can just pop him out. All right, let me dig that out. I'll be right back. All right, so I was able to get the evil dude out. and left this dude in there. Ended up having to use some hose clamp clips, but we didn't have to take the wheel off. You might need something else, so now it's time to start backing that plug out. That's the far one in the back, so let's get set up for that. All right, about to go in the back. I got my 5/8 and a 3-inch extension. Let's go back in there. So it sits at an angle, so you're gonna have to feel for it. You're not gonna be able to see it. So I usually just, well, since he's broke free, let's go ahead and pop him out the way. All right, we'll match everything up in a minute. Let's go ahead and dig our hand down in there so you can feel for your hole. So it's right behind here. Let's feel for it. You'll feel the tip of your plug. And if you don't, use your other hand. So I think I might have to use my other hand so I can feel my tip. And be careful because it's sharp around in here. So let's see if I can get in here. Let's go this way. It's been a minute for this one. And I'll work it in. Feel for my plug hole. And I just missed it. Back it up a little bit. There's my plug. I can feel it, but I can't see it. And let's just work the tip onto the plug. Almost there. So you're gonna have to just kind of play with it. And I'm probably gonna back off my extension just because I don't need that much. I'm probably gonna use like a 1.5 inch extension just for this, just because I don't need this extra. It's gonna bump up against this shield right here. So let me shrink it a little bit, but you see how it's set up. But you can feel it with your fingertips where it's gonna rest at. And I'm glad this engine is warm. And you're gonna need a long ratchet, maybe not, depending on how tight it is. So let's shrink this dude down to a 1-inch extension. And I'm gonna use my 1-inch wobbly head. So let's do the same method. And let's go in and backwards. All right, it's working back in. Let me come this way, this hand. Because this is loose now, so we got some wiggle room. But I can see the plug flipping around. And it's spinning till we get him on. All right, so we got him on. This is just the hardest one I like to show, so we'll take a break on video in a minute. Let's make sure it's set. And watch yourself because you might scrape yourself. Okay, so we on there good. Might have to go in just socket alone, but we want to at least just break it free. Got the ratchet set. Snap him on there. Hopefully I got him in a good angle. Otherwise, rotate your head. But again, this is the hard part of stuff. Having to adjust to get it on there and all that. And I can't really see it, so let's keep playing with it. Just a click at a time. And just kind of rotate it. There we go. All right, we on there good. Let's give some cranks. There we go. Got him to move. Okay, so this one's breaking away freely. Shrink the ratchet. And we're just gonna back him all the way out by hand. You're not gonna be able to see it going back in just because of the location, as far as you just have to go by feel. And if you feel it tightening up or binding and feel like it's not spinning, back up immediately so you don't cross thread going into your block. And definitely don't go in or come out with a impact or speed ratchet or anything like that. Just take your time. And this is the worst one. After this one, you'll be out the mud. But it might take you, I think it took me about 20 minutes. Shrink it some more. about 20 minutes to get the boot off. About 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
So this one's almost out. This vehicle is about 200-something thousand miles, about almost 240. But you want to make sure you don't back up too far where you can't get your ratchet out. See, like this right here. So I'm gonna pop him off now. Let's see if I can separate it. I might have to use 2 hands to separate it. That way we don't get stuck. There we go. And any further, probably would have got stuck. Hopefully it's only hand tight now. Let's get our socket back on, that plug. And you're not gonna be able to see me for a second because I'm gonna have to squeeze in front of the vehicle now. Alright. Dead dude out the way. Let's go on back in. He's still a little tight. Alright, so let me get my slim head ratchet. And yeah, that'll work, the slim head ratchet. But it's still tight. You can't really get a can in there to get any WD-40 or anything on there. So bought this at AutoZone, slim head ratchet. It's not as thick. So I just needed to assist because I can't grip it with my fingertips quite yet. Should be able to get it by hand by now. Let's see if I can separate them again. But yeah, this is that spot that's gonna be hard for you because I've been doing these for years and it's still hard for me, especially when you gotta disconnect your sockets and all that stuff to get it in and out. Let's hold this one steady. There we go. All right, got him to pop off. That one out the way. Let's dig back in here. Should be able to spin him on out now. So this will be the first one that we complete. We're not going back in, doing half of it, putting this plug in first, and then we'll work our way around. But, yep, extensions and all that stuff. It's gonna help. All right, so we got one out. Right, so that's the evil dude. We got him out. I definitely recommend you go in with platinum or iridium. You do not have to pre-gap them. They come pre-gapped. Well, you don't have to gap them. They come pre-gapped. So don't try to gap these. You will snap the tip off of these dudes just because the way they're designed. It will break off, so don't try to gap them. They already pre-gapped, so that's what we chose to go with as well. So let's continue the procedure on doing so. So we got one out, so we're gonna put this one in and start putting everything back. Show you what we went with far as plugs and wires here in a brief moment. But yeah, about 30 minutes in on one plug. So that's how it is. It looks good and easy on some videos, but one plug already, 30 minutes in. We'll be back. All right, so we got the spark plug kit. It came as a whole kit. I'm not quite sure how much was it? It was about 60 bucks. So I'm not sure if that was before or after tax, but Boji, camera might be kind of smudgy. But yeah, Boji, these dudes right here. I'm gonna have to wipe the camera off because I know we're blurry. And it came with all the wires, and you got your new housings and everything for all these dudes. But we're gonna see how they do. They had a good review, so yep, let me get set up with the anti-seize and stuff. Go. All right, so we got the old plug here. I don't know if you can see the tip or not. Okay, so let's do a comparison. Always compare your parts, make sure everything is the same. So let's get this dude out too, and let's compare the tips and the base, where the screws go in, where it screws into the engine. Everything looks great. So let's proceed. We're gonna put a little anti-seize on this just so they don't lock up for the next mechanic or the next tune-up. And I always say that just to help out everybody else, because like you've seen, it wasn't hard for the plugs to come out, but it was hard for the coils to come out. All right, so we got a little bit. Don't glob it. You don't want to get nothing on your tip. Your socket, spark plug socket should have a magnet on it. So, yep, it should be good. So we're gonna feed this in, go ahead and lock this one back in, and then we'll proceed with the video as we work forward. But I like to do videos in real time because this is what you run into. So let's move these out the way for now. Let's get back in here in the mud. We'll be back in a second. All right, so we back in there. Got the flathead ratchet on there. And you're just gonna work it in. If you feel like it's binding back up, I had that issue a second ago. But you're gonna go back in, you're gonna go tight and crank it. You're not gonna be able to get a torque wrench in here of any kind. I mean, if you want to, you can risk it, but like rule of thumb back in the day, tight, you'll feel it stop, then crank it a quarter turn, and you'll be fine. But worst thing, there we go. Cranking, cranking, cranking. We're gonna do one more. That's it, right there. Now let's work him out. You see we blocking, so let's separate him again. This will be the hardest plug to get to. Let me squeeze my hand down in there, separate him and pull him out. All right, so let's get our new spark plug wire, pop him on. All right, man, that's the demon one. That's the one I always go to first. So that one back there, if you can't get it out, don't even try. All right, be right back. All right, so all your wires are the same size, so you can't mix them up. So, but when you put them in, you want to make sure they click. So the one that we just done, you can put some dielectric grease on the tip of them, but you're not going to be able to because you got springs on these, which help them pop back out. So let's dig him in. We got to finger find the dude. You'll feel your tip of your plug. I'll feel him now. Let's get the spring over it first. Work him on. And you want to hear it click once you get it. But you might hear it, you might feel it. And then you give it a tug. Yeah, this one I felt click. But yep, you want to pull on it after you get it, just to make sure it's on there good. And then just give it some wiggles to make sure it seats well. And you're good. All right. That one clicked, but I was talking, I felt it. Let's get this on here. And worst case, you just have to go back in and pull it off and try to tighten it again. Let's get him on there. There we go. We heard that one click. And we are good. Let's rotate him a little bit. There we go. All right, we got one out the way. These wires are a little longer, but it's not going to hurt anything. Let's make sure they're all the same size just to verify, just because it might be a little different, but let's just check. But yeah, sometimes the aftermarket parts, they come a little different, but yeah, these are just a little longer. So yep, all good. So we're just going to continue the procedure on removing the rest of these plugs all the way down. Then we'll move over to the passenger side. So hopefully the rest of these will come out and be nice to us. So let's go ahead and get his buddy out. But yeah, I always work from the hardest first and then come forward. That's just me, because I know the easy stuff is going to be easy. But that was the demon. So hopefully he comes out okay. But I got more leverage and grip and an area to work with. But if he came out, the rest of these should come out too, even if it was a problem. And then the positioning sucks too. I'm trying to get to these. All right, let's try to get him. And I'll use the shield to kind of brace up against it to help me pull. Let's dig in here a little more. Let's see. That one came. All right, we got him. All right, I got him out the way. Let's just go ahead and remove the whole thing. There we go. Now we got more clearance. Let's go ahead and get our tool again. Socket. But yeah, definitely not fun. Let's switch back over. little more room, so we don't need him right now. It's almost beer 30. All right, let's go back in. Oh, let me separate it so I can feel the tip. And let's feel for him. There he is. And work him in. Get him on good. Make sure your wrench is set. Let's rotate the head. And this is where you gotta have patience when you gotta rotate your head and all that stuff. Give some teasing and just get it to break free slowly. Don't try to go too hard, too fast. That's how you damage stuff. But that's why you wanna do it on the warm engine, semi-warm. I just say, you know, room temperature, 70 degrees good, 73, 80 degree temperature. That way you come out, you don't have anything snap off, especially if you're doing it in the cold. You want to start it. But you see, we got minimum space, and we can do it the fast way, but it's not fast when you're doing it in real time. It's just a show how video for those who already know. For those who don't, this is what you got to do. A little bit at a time. Just take your time. You might have to stop, come back tomorrow, depending on what you got going on. But just know this vehicle is down till you fix it. So, just working a little bit at a time. Just getting there. All right, let's get this on off. It's working the rest of the way out. Oh, please tell me you loosen up. It's still a little tight. There we go. All right, here a little tight. Let me get my stubby. Fingertips ain't doing it. Get it, grab my little dude. There we go. There we go. All right, and this dude's pretty ugly, so that's how you know it was time. But they get pretty tarnished through time. You get the carbon built up and all that stuff on top. But yep, let's go to the next one. All right, so we're gonna do this whole procedure coming all the way forward. We're gonna come back and show the end result of this, but hopefully you don't have anything break or anything like we just had to have happen in the back. Nothing broke, but it was real hard too, so hopefully yours come out easy. All right, so we're gonna finish this side up. We're gonna move over to the driver's side. See you in about 10. All right, so we didn't trade hands trying to dig this out just for a minute. You know, I said we'd be back in such and such a time, but it's looking like this side is taking about 10 to 20 minutes per plug, except for the one we skipped. The last one came out pretty easy, but yep, it's not gonna be just your snap in, snap out if they're old and they're on there for a long time. So we're in the mud, we about to get out of it. All right, so let's try to get to this one on the driver's side in the back. So that's how it worked, from the hardest to the front. So let's get to it. Might block the camera a little bit. So hold on a sec. All right, so this side ain't as bad. So let's get back in here. Let's try to get him out. Some angle pliers work great. And you might have to twist him a little bit. Wiggle and twist until he breaks free. You might bash your knuckles, so just be aware of that. But yeah, we probably doing each plug is probably about 20 minutes each, just because they've been in there so long.
That
So
motherfucker pop out?
All right, so let's keep working it. Let's just go ahead and snatch this on off. Let's keep pulling it. see if we can dig in between side one. All right, you see where we at in the mud again. So, be back in a moment. All right, so we back in here. We still working over here. Show you where we at. My neighbor came over. It's his vehicle. He wanted to help. So we over here. We got the far plug in the back, way back there. We got this dude left, and we trying to pry these out. Okay, so this side over here, passenger side. Sorry to get you moving in the air, but passenger side, everything's done. Well, so all I gotta do now is put this bolt back in for the dipstick to go back in this spot over in here. So I'm about to do that now, and we're gonna get all those out, proceed to loosen them and taking them out. See you in a bit. All right, so while you in there, sometimes the tips might break off down in there like such. So that's what I'm about to dig out. We got this one here, then we can proceed on down the line, getting all the rest of these plugs out. But yep, so that's where we at. Let's see if we can pull him out on cam, because we've been on these plugs quite longer than we had planned it on doing. So let's see if I can hold it and grab him and grip him. There we go. So you're gonna bust some knuckles, just saying. So we got him out. Let's throw him on the ground. Let's see if we can get this one out on cam. Let's just pull him all the way out the way. And that way we can go back in the line, because you can't mix these up. So let's turn it and just keep turning it. Let's try to get him to pop out. Now I'm gonna spend this time on this one just because your other plugs might act like this. And this is what you're gonna have to do. All right, so we're still in here. Did he come? I was too anxious. Let's try him again. Let's just keep trying to rotate him out there. There we go. All right, tip stayed on that one too. So that's the problem with these. Tips are staying on right over here. So we got all these out after this one. Man. So about 10 minutes per plug. All right, so we're gonna back these out and we're gonna go back in. Like I said, if you feel like you're binding, then stop, go back in. And we're gonna go back in, and then we'll just connect everything back. We'll do that process, but this is pretty straightforward. You got your one back there, 2, where you at? 3, and 4. Do it up front, up here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's hiding up under this sensor right here. Yep, that dude right there. All right, so we'll be back in a bit. All right, since we just at the last stage on removal, I'll figure out get it on cam. We're getting all these guys broken free. All the way down the line. Tease them a little bit. And just go slow. Some of them might be tighter than the others, like this one, so we're gonna tighten it. We're gonna rotate it back. Let's go back tight. Back. And this is on some of them that's binding a bit. Might be in the way. Come over to the side a little bit. Just because I might be blocking So I'm having to tighten and loosen at the same time so we give them the break free, because this one's real tight. But it's starting to rotate better now. So we're just gonna continue slowly. All right, so we know that one's free. Come over here, get this dude that's hiding. And we're gonna use a longer extension just because we got minimum space. Could go with a 3-inch, but I'm gonna go with a 6. Get past this sensor right here. Slide him on good. Oh, that went in right perfect. Teasing. And this one's a lot looser than that last one. So, all right, everybody's broken free. We'll go ahead and put them all back in. Remember to use some anti-seize. You don't need a lot. So let me show you what you're working with. Grab your plugs. Just pop one out. Whatever plugs you decide to go with. So many of them. And we're gonna grab our anti-seize. And I just want to show this. We're gonna put the cover back on. You got your sleeve here. We're just gonna put a little bit on the threads. I'm gonna do this for all of them, just a little bit. So you want to put a little bit on there like that. And this keeps them from locking up in the engine. So, and I just smear my finger around because you're gonna thread it in. All right, so this one's prepared to go back in. Let's just slide our sleeve back on like that, and now it's ready. So see you guys in a minute when we get ready to put these wires back on. All right, so we in here. We tighten it up. The second to the last in the back. He's almost tight. Sometimes when you're taking out your plugs, this happens, or sometimes the whole head will snap off itself. I've had that happen before too, so just be careful when you're pulling it out to make sure nothing goes down into the cylinder head. But yep, this is one of those issues that happen through time. It doesn't matter what year, make, and model. It just happens through time after heat and everything, far as the vehicle doing what it's supposed to do. Everything fails through time. Nothing lasts forever. So just wanted to show that plug. So we're tightening in now. The one that broke. So right now I'm tightening it. So I got the one in the back good. So we just want to tighten it and turn it just a little bit, and that'll be all for that one. So let's go ahead and get our wires on. Let's go all the way in the back. Get him on first. You want to hear a thud sound or a click? Like that. That's a click there. Same thing with this one. Need another wire. Got our wire. Let's go ahead and get him in. Make sure your spring goes over. It's nice and smooth over your plug. And let's get the snap. You want to hear a thud or a snap? Or a click? There we go. That's what we want to hear. All right. Same thing here. Got a little click. It's not going to be as loud. All right, so I got 2 more plugs to take out. Just wanted to show that real fast. So let's go ahead and get those dudes out too. Let's get some light over here on the subject. Just because they're down in there. And you may or may not be able to see me because of this right here. But let's get it. See if that shows up on camera a little bit. Yep, it's on there. All right. Pull him off. Check our wrench to loose. But, yep, grateful for my neighbor's help because we would definitely been out here longer. So this whole job, if yours are real old and they're tight and they don't come out, it's gonna take you about an hour, hour and a half. Might take you longer than that. I'm just talking about work time, far as hands-on doing this. You might take a break. You might go eat some lunch or something. But far as hands-on time, probably about an hour, hour and a half. So we're just gonna keep working. Got one more plug after this one. Like I said, they're getting real tight. Then go back the other way, tighten it up a little bit, then loosen it again until it starts to come out easy. But yeah, you see how many cranks I'm in. And I wish I could speed through it like Superman, but yep, you gotta take your time. All right, so he's loose all the way. Let's go ahead and do this one too since I'm right here. And let's use a long extension just to help out. I'll grab a 6. So this will be 9 inches total, just because of the space that we have, which is good because I already broke them free. But you want to break your plugs free close as possible, because the leverage and torque helps out a lot easier to break them free closer versus being out here trying to break them free. Since I know these are all the way loose, all right, let's go ahead and get this dude out over here all the way. Should be able to hand spin him out. And you're gonna have to feel for him when you're going back in. So, yep. Yep, it's beer 30, so let me crack one. And don't drink alcohol when you're doing stuff. Been doing this so long, I know what I'm doing, but even though you know what you're doing, don't drink alcohol. So I'm gonna wait to have my beer after this soda. But yeah, you're gonna need to take a break sometimes. Just take a break to not make a mistake. I'm gonna have to make a t-shirt or something that says that. Because you want to rush and you're going to get a headache because you're going through the mud, and the mud is anything that is frustrating. So if it's real frustrating, you're going to be mad at yourself if you break something even more. So we're going to go in. You might be able to see, you might not. Just kind of rest it in there and just give it some spins and see if it's going. If it's going, great. If it's not, back up. All right, so we're going. And you'll know if you're going by hand when you're spinning it in by hand. See how I just had to back up a little bit, give it some more threads. So now I know that I got at least 6 or 7 spins. Let's back it up a little bit, go some more. Yeah, so I'm good. So I'm gonna leave that one there. Let's go ahead and get this dude the rest of the way out so I can have all my plugs set in there, be in there. Yeah, I can just tighten those dudes down, put my wires on. But yeah, this is the procedure. Everybody doesn't see the procedure on being tough. And you're gonna bash some knuckles and stuff. I got some band-aids to put on here in a little bit, but it is what it is. And I definitely had you some music on. Got some good vibes. See the carbon build up on this dude. It's even sticking off of it a little bit. So we got this last plug. It'll be all 8. And this will be the complete procedure. We got 2 more wires left. And let's get a little anti-seize on this dude. Just a little bit around the sides. Let's sit this here for a minute so I don't drop it. Alright, that's great. Let's spin him around so it'll lock in, because when you threading it in, it's gonna rotate in anyway, so it's gonna get what it gets. Just don't overdo it and glob it up and make it all sloppy and stuff. Alright, so this one's directly under this sensor right here, and I got it set, and I'm just gonna baby tip it in just to see if it's going. And there it go. So just do that. You're not gonna be able to see the hole unless you tilt your head over there, but you're not gonna be able to see it to tighten it. So we got that one good. Let's go back to this dude. Let's go ahead and finish him up. Let's get a wrench set. And like I said, it's probably a torque spec, but just tighten a little bit. Never had a problem. It's never failed me. And going on 30 years doing this. But yeah, just don't rush. Take your time. When it stops, you'll see me stop here in a second. When it gets tight enough to stop. All right, so we stopped. Crank, test it. Crank, test it. That's it, right there. Any more than that, you're gonna snap it off or damage something. Let's get this on here good. There we go. Always make sure you're set. But music definitely helps me get done. And now we got 2 more wires. Then we'll be able to start the vehicle, make sure it's in operating condition as far as where it's supposed to run. If not, it might be a problem with the wires, or it could be a problem with the plug itself, but you don't know till you start it. That's on any plug, I don't care the brand. That's it right there. All right, let's get these last two dudes in. Uh-oh, we dropped the dude. Let's get him real quick. Might work. Yeah, let's see if they got aluminum on these. Yep, I know the spring is metal. I mean, steel. Yep, aluminum housing, steel spring. All right. All right, let's get these last two on. Hey, you want to hear a thud or a click? There we go. That was a thud click.
Hey, D. Line 'em up.
And that was a click. Same thing with this one. Okay, you did a click. There we go. Let's get this one on. And I felt it click, but it didn't make a loud sound. But we're good. All right, let's move this blanket and stuff. Before we put our cover back on, we're gonna start the engine, make sure everything is good. So give me a second, I'm about to do so. All right, so we done. Let's move everything out the way. Let's fire it up. And let's make sure everything is good. After this, we're gonna clear the codes. Hopefully everything goes away because we did have an O2 sensor code, but sometimes your spark plugs can cause other codes. So just saying, change spark plugs if you haven't done them. Right. Sounds good. Don't feel any misfires or anything. You can kind of feel your engine. Just kind of rest your hand on the vehicle. We had a misfire for this vehicle. It didn't give us a specific cylinder. So now that we've done the tune-up, new wires, new plugs. You can also change your coil packs if you feel that you need to, but I would start off with the plug and the wires first because coil packs can be expensive. But misfire is gone. Gonna take a little time for the engine to warm up just so we can know that it's great. But yeah, hit that thumbs up. This helps you. Subscribe to the channel, please do that. It helps the channel, helps me help you. So yeah, this will be the procedure, the long way of changing the spark plugs in case you run into the mud and have some issues. You may have these issues, so you're gonna have to have some various plugs, pliers, stuff like that to help you get the job done. We did not have any broken boots down into the cylinder, so that was great too. They came out real nice and smooth, nice and easy. But yeah, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if this helps you changing your spark plugs on your Chevy Tahoe. Until next video, guys, always know rest of the enemy, live life, love it, and I'm out.